Hey YouTube, what is going on? It's your friend Nashtaters, your neighborhood War of Divisions player. So we're gonna be having some fun tonight. Hopefully, we're just gonna be chilling like a villain and just kind of shoot the breeze with everybody, you know. Let me move my mic just a little bit closer to me here. I am just trying to get my dailies done so I don't have to do all of that while we are streaming. Hope you guys are having a great evening. What is going on, Ben? How you doing? Yes. Hey, Hadid, welcome. Congratulations on being the first. And Ben, yeah, we should be farming something here. I haven't really been farming anything in ages. I really feel like I have not been farming very much lately. So just trying to get all my dailies done here first. We're going to probably do some guild wars, do some arena, just get everything out of the way and kind of show you guys what I am at for this game. I have not been putting a whole lot of videos lately because, to be honest, I've been talking about this for 2 weeks straight. There just isn't enough interesting materials anymore. I was getting honestly tired of doing the same routine every week where I do Monday news, Wednesday news, Tuesday something, you know, Thursday something, and then Friday free thinking and then the stream. It's like it is a very streamlined formula, but it's also very boring after a while, right? It's the same thing over and over. I think content creation wise, there has to be some creativity in terms of getting people engaged and just showing people interest. And I also feel like this game is kind of like on the lowdown, I guess. I don't know what the terminology is as of late, because I think all of these events kind of really put a damper on the game. Like they're very long, and I used to think that's a great thing, but then as you're engaging in it, it's just long and tedious. And to be quite frank about things, most of the stuff in this game, it's fairly not really that good for you to have, in the sense that you don't really need it, right? I think people do things in this game because they enjoy playing it, so they do it just to do it. And getting materials for something that you're playing a game, no one should tell you, no one has the right to tell you that you're doing something wrong or that you shouldn't do it. But I'm telling you, as a player that's been playing since the beginning of the game, and as a super avid fan of Final Fantasy Tactics and all the Final Fantasy stuff, I can honestly tell you I'm not a huge fan of a lot of stuff that's going on in this game as of late, right? I know I have some regrets when it comes to getting too many limited time units, because as it turns out, you don't really even need all of them. I'm not really sure why I got a lot of those. I think partially because of the fact that I was creating content, and then a lot of times I felt like there was pressure, right? I've been saying this, and I think I'm more relaxed now playing this game. Like, I don't feel like I had the urge to make sure every 6 hours I'm getting something from the shop, or if I miss something, you know, I feel bad. Like, if I miss something, I miss something, right? And I think my mentality has changed a little bit. And I realized that getting all the different units in this game, it makes no difference, because I'm gonna show you. I haven't really started climbing the tower. I've been kind of doing like a floor every like just once in a while. Like I'm on 44, right? And the way I look at it is, you don't really need to rush the tower. Like, one thing I don't like about the tower and the design of the tower is that I have to play it over and over and over and over. I think that is stupid, like straight and simple. I think it's a terrible design. I think the designers need to rethink about that. Like, it's also super flawed, right? For example, if you're a beginning player, you can't reset the tower at all, right? You have to get all the way to 50 to reset. So if that's the case, then a beginning player will have to literally wait for 6 months to 9 months in order to complete the porcelain tower to floor 50. But if you think about it, by the time 3 months later to come down, they're gonna add another 10 floors. So a beginning player cannot cannot, I could be wrong. Like, I'm pretty sure you cannot reset the floor. Like, let me think about this. Let's think about this. There is no option for me to reset anything when I'm playing on the tower. So that's a major problem. Unless you can, and I just don't know how. Right? So let me just explain it in a little bit deeper detail here. I'm a beginning player. I can probably clear like a few floors, right? And as I get stronger, 3 months later, I can clear maybe to floor 15, floor 20. But guess what? I can't not reset. I can't do anything with it. So essentially I'm stuck until I can complete all the floors and then reset the whole tower, climb it multiple times just to get enough metals to get the materials to finally craft or max out the whatever the UR item they're offering. I think that's a horrible design. I don't know what they were thinking when they designed it this way. Like, I understand that they're adding like a Lego set on top of a Lego set where they're getting, you know, more materials / content added onto this one specific content. I think that's a great idea in its own right. But players who are at different levels of progression should be able to reset every 10 floors rather than completing the entire situation to do it. What is going on, Quack? How you doing? I am farming 7DS a bit. 7 Deadly Sins, I got you. This game is just part daily routine. Well, Hadid, wherever this game is in terms of hierarchy on your list, welcome to the stream. And I'm glad you're here to hang out with me. So, that's in a nutshell what I don't like about the Porcelain Tower. In fact, if I complete it within the 2-week period, I'm not going to reset. In my opinion, I think resetting the entire floors, all the floors, is just a waste of time because I used to love the grindy aspect of it, but then I thought about it. Why am I grinding the same content over? Why are they making us? Let me rephrase that. They're not making us do it. What they're doing is they're giving us the option to do it. But if you want your item to be maxed, you have to do it to get the metals, to get the materials, which is insanely crazy. Like, why would you make me do literally 50 hours of playing this tower? It is not a fun experience. I'm not sure people out there agree with me or disagree with me or whatever the case is. I just don't grasp the concept of that being fun. Killing the same stages over and over when it's something of this level of content, right? Because the 40s are very hard. Like, they're pretty hard. And the thing is, the difficulty level is not even actually difficult. It's that they just bump the resistances, they bump all the defense, the HP. They just made everything take longer to kill rather than actually utilizing strategy. Which I think in a strategy game, there's not really a whole lot of thinking here. It's just, you have to grind through it, zerg through it. And I used to think that's fun and creative and all that, but now I look back into it, it's not. It's actually a terrible design. It's in fact one of the worst designs that I've ever encountered in playing gacha game towers. Okay, I'm gonna be brutally honest. I play many gacha games, and many of them have these towers. And I can guarantee you, there's not gonna be many of them that forces you to climb the tower over and over and over. Now, here's my suggestion. Why not make a super easy mode, which you can climb all the towers, right? But you can only climb it once. In order to gain more materials, you have to climb another tower, but with different encounters, but you get the same rewards. So therefore, you're getting a brand new experience as you increase the difficulty level. And don't give me just crazy resistance units. Like, for example, if you go in the map here, right? And you go ahead and click on that little zoom in icon on one of these units, they're gonna have insane resistances, like 50 against everything, and only 10% weakness to whatever their natural enemy is. In this case, it's gonna be lightning. Like, seriously, what kind of design is that? That's not really a challenge. That's more just like, okay, I know I'm in for a grind. I know I have to just throw all of my units at them and trying to kill them off. And because of the full recover situation, which you can recover everything you own in every 24 hours, it's just a zerg fest. Nothing more, nothing less. In my opinion, the Porcelain Tower is getting no creativity from the design team. And ultimately it's going to really make some people irritated and angry. And I'm getting there myself. I'm getting irritated at the lackluster content they're bringing forth. And this game could be a lot different than all the other games out there. Because one, art. We all agree. The art is amazing, okay? The IP supporting this game, like i.e. the companies like Square Enix, they're amazing. They have tons of stuff at their disposal. But when you sign with Gumi and you go ahead and follow the same formula for the Alchemist code, you're essentially just carbon copying a different game with different skins. And I love Final Fantasy stuff. I love strategy games. But it's getting harder and harder for me to actually enjoy different aspects of the games. In fact, I'm completely skipping the tower on my, well, actually, I don't know if I'm really skipping on my free-to-play. What I do is I just climb as much as I can at a very leisure level. If I can beat one floor a day, I'm okay with that. And eventually, I know that I'm eventually going to get the item from it, because I don't plan on repeating the floors over and over on a free-to-play account. There's no way I'm climbing this tower 3 times on each account. That's ridiculous. There's no reason to do that. Now, I know it is completely up to me to create a different account to do the free-to-play aspect. And that's all on me. I get that. You know, like, actually a lot of players enjoyed having alternate accounts so they can enjoy different approaches to different gacha games. But for me, in this case, I feel like it's not really a mistake, but it's more like you can't sustain that kind of stuff over a long period of time. You're gonna have to start making decisions on things that you have to skip. So that's not a rant, by the way. This is not a rant. I think people need to stop misunderstanding, misinterpreting. It's actually criticism, right? It's when you're criticizing something, people might think you're going all buck wild negative on it. It's not. It's being brutally honest. And sometimes tough love is a way to go for companies to make progression themselves, to really get better at what they do. Just so, like, I need to get better at what I do, right? For example, if I'm working my normal job, I always need to get better at what I do. I can't be, content with just being what I am now. I gotta keep trying to make myself better, right? So let's go ahead and think about this. Man, guild battles are impossible without 3 full 120s. I agree, Quack. I think that is also kind of ridiculous, because without 120s, it seems like it's kind of harder to do than before. Auto tower with 5. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, I got you. I deleted some games, so I understand. Right now, it's just daily. Auto tower 5 times and done. I wish I can auto the tower 5 times. I mean, technically speaking, I could, right? I just keep zerging with everything, and eventually I can just kill the whole thing by daily resetting over and over. But that's the thing, is I always emphasize on having manual control over really extreme hard content, because it's very rewarding when you actually get there and you defeat it. You feel really good about yourself. Like, you feel good. You feel accomplishing something. You didn't feel like you wasted your time. And I think the tower ultimately should be just that. But, given us opportunity to run it multiple times, I guess you could say during the honeymoon phase of this game, I actually didn't mind it. But now I really tediously, I'm very strong against that. Hey Lou, how you doing, buddy? Would you be pulling for Helena or save? Keith, I think you asked me this last week. I'm going to say the same answer this time. Yes, I will not be pulling for Helena, and I will be saving for Final Fantasy VII. As you can see, I have 54,000. I have not spent any money. And by the way, I do have the super chat activated. If you guys want to do super chat, all you gotta do is put in a specific amount you want to donate, obviously. And to be transparent, all money donated on this channel to me will go back into the game that I'm playing, which will be, in this case, World Divisions. So if you donate like 10 bucks, then I will save all that money up to buy packs. So if you guys actually want me to summon for Helena, that would be a good way to actually see me do summons, if that's one way you guys to do it. And that's just being brutally honest, right? Because I don't really plan on spending a whole lot more money on this game, at least not in the present state of the game, because I'm learning more and more. If you want to be successful in Guild Wars and specific arena stuff, which to me, the material, like the arena stuff, it's kind of junk, right? The arena rewards are junk. The Guild Wars stuff is pretty good for the most part. It's pretty good. But if you decide that you don't want to do any Guild Wars, if your guild allows you to do that, and all you want to do is farm barracks, you technically speaking aren't losing a whole lot, right? By the way, today's sponsor is this tea. It's a delicious Taiwanese tea. Obviously, I'm not sponsored. I'm just making stuff up, but I gotta stay hydrated. Speaking of which, I had a delicious meal tonight. I had laksa tonight, which, if those of you don't know, I believe is from Singapore or it's from Malaysia, right? And Kwok, I think he can probably correct me on this. I think it's from Singapore. So it's a very delicious dish in which is like, there's like lemongrass, there's I believe coconut milk, and it's just a very tangy, very rich broth, and then you put noodles and seafood and meats. And so we ordered it because it was from a Thai place, because we had like a coupon. You can get like buy one, get one free or something like that. So we ordered 2 laksas, right? It came with chicken, which wasn't very good. It came with some noodles, rice noodles, and a little bit of vegetables. That's it. But the broth is what, you know, what gets us. So we ate all the stuff. Thank you, Senti. Thank you. It is from Singapore. Thank you very much. So, okay, so we ate all the stuff that it came with, right? And then we saved the broth for the next day. And then we went to the grocery store. We bought shrimp. We bought tofu. We should have probably put some enoki mushrooms, but we forgot to buy that. And then we put all that stuff. And then she also bought some of those Asian like balls, like, you know, beef balls. And man, I tell you, it was so good. Like I feel so sleepy and so full right now. I feel so full right now, and I feel a little dehydrated because I drank way too much of that broth, which I probably shouldn't have done that because that thing is so salty. But I love it. I love laksa. Like one of the delicious cuts of meat that they served that I had like with authentic laksa was the jowl meat, the jowl of the pork, which is essentially the cheek meat. Oh man, or was it a neck meat? One of those. Cheek meat, I think. It is like one of the most tender piece of cut you can get from the pork. And they like do little like grilling action, and then they put on top of your laksa. Man, if it wasn't for this pandemic, I'll be traveling like crazy right now. I'll probably be in Singapore right now enjoying some laksa. And funny thing was, a couple of weeks ago, I think it's a couple of weeks ago, or is it last week? No, a couple of weeks ago. I was in Atlanta, you know, attending my friend's wedding, and one of my buddies had to pick me up from the airport. So I decided, you know, to pay him back. I took them out to lunch, and we went to this like it's like this eatery terminal, right? I think it's called something terminal. And they had like food from all different regions of Asia. And they ordered this Malaysian dish. And I think it's called Rennan. And it's basically some kind of meat. In this case, I think it was brisket. And it's cooked in this Chinese, Asian, like kind of like a pasta sauce, except it's not pasta sauce, but it's thick. Thick like pasta sauce, red. Had a little bit of heat to it. Had a lot of flavor. It's supposed to be like the national dish of Malaysia. And the thing is, I was in Malaysia like 2 years ago, visiting one of my lifetime friends and his brother. We're like been friends for a very long time. And it's like, I didn't get to enjoy it at all. I'm like thinking, wait a second, why didn't they take me to a place to eat like the national dish, you know? And, you know, we're just sitting there contemplating about that concept, you know, while I was sitting in a cafe in Atlanta with my friends. And they're like, maybe because they eat it all the time, they get sick of it. They didn't want to like. But I was thinking, dude, how many times am I going to go to Malaysia for the rest of my life? Maybe once every couple of years or something, right? I mean, you got to at least take me to eat their national dish. Rendang. It is rendang. Oh my God, it's so good. Like they slow cook that brisket where the tendon, it just like melts in your mouth, man. Like And the thing is, it's so addicting. That sauce is so addicting. I can't stop eating it. I honestly couldn't stop eating it. It was so delicious. Oh, is it that's what it is. It's Indonesian. So I think that's where the confusion came from, Bobo. Thank you. See, this is why I stream. This is what you learn. You learn more about live streaming than going on Google, because then you have people from those regions educating you on what's what. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh boy, it's starting now. Yes, second, it is starting. So I'm sorry, but man, I just love delicious food. And I'm just so irritated that I can't travel. And the thing is, I could probably visit some of you guys in the different regions of the country. We can like meet up and like summon together or whatever. Because I remember when I used to play a lot of Summoners Wars, a lot of people did that. Like there were people that came to visit some of the streamers, and they would like go out to get street food, and they would like summon together and just have a grand old time. And I think that's what made Summoners Wars so popular back in the days. I guess it's still decently popular, but that's a whole new tangent of a storyline there, right? But back to what I was referring to in this game. I know there's still a lot of people playing this game, right? I think a lot of people are maybe approaching it from a casual perspective, because I realize even when you're playing kind of sort of semi-hardcore, it's just not really worth it. Like I always said before, I've hardcore on many games that I play in my life, and this was never going to be one of those. But I'm learning more and more that I was like leaning towards that direction. I was summoning on almost every unit that came out that was limited time units, and I would have been fine, to be honest, if it wasn't for the EX, right? Since the introduction of EX, it's essentially kind of killed my love for the game. At least it brought it down a couple of notches, because I realized now I got to go back in time or go forward in time and make sure all those units are up to par again, which essentially is making me spend more to quote unquote keep the current roster that I have. I can't even begin to think about trying to constantly update your rosters to cater to that specific week of entertainment, because this is what this game is kind of boiled down to. And I think it's important, as any player at any level of spending, you need to start thinking about, why are you going after units? There's no reason to, a lot of times, because they're just there to attract you so you can open up your wallet and then start swiping your Visa. Am I right, or am I right, or am I right? Am I right? Same, EX is discouraging me to spend more. It really is discouraging me to spend. I really don't feel like spending anymore. Square Enix, if you got spies watching this game, or watching the stream, or spies working for Justin, or any of that stuff, pay attention to what streamers and your influencers that you're clearly advocating for. Pay attention to what they are saying, because I can't just say good things about this game anymore. I have to start pointing out things, because only when you start doing that, the game will improve and get better with time. You don't want a game to get worse with time, because if you're content with just making your money over the last year and change, and you met your quota, then good. Then there's nothing to really think about. But if you want to make more money and you want to get players to play more, because the higher volume of player base you have, the more chance of people watching ads, spending a few bucks here and there, and you're probably going to get more ad revenue from whatever program you guys are using. Looks like this guild we're fighting is essentially a lot of casters. Damn it. I really like to attack physical attackers, as that's what my guys are geared towards. So the only option I'm seeing is Sungung here, and we're gonna check him out. Sungung here. All right, we're gonna look up Sungung. Same. Yes. So that's what's gonna happen for me. Is I'm definitely gonna be spending less and not overthinking things. Okay. Farm things on my leisure, log in only when I feel like it. I'm going to attack this team because it's essentially a team that I can handle, because it has a lot of slash. I am going to have some problems with the re-raise, but it's all slash. So Ren's Sungun, we're going to come after you. And if we lose, we lose, right? Lately, I haven't even actually looked at the Guild Wars. I probably should start doing that to kind of learn. Wait a second. Did they switch it up on me? Yes, they did. They switched to... Did I look at the wrong guy here? Okay, so they got their re-raise, but I got my thing to get rid of it. That's a lot of damage, huh? All right, here we go. Where is my tank? There we go. We got that buff removed. We killed him, but we sacrificed ourselves. We sacrificed ourselves, and he got the re-raise up. So it looks like, okay, I hit him for 10k. That's pretty solid. And oh my goodness, that's just pure speed there, boys and girls. Okay, I think we got this in a bag. Oh no! Oh! We literally missed that re-raise by a millisecond. I could have had my entire team back. So I had to. I can only probably smoke a team like this because they don't have 3 120s. So that was a pretty decent fight, but that kind of puts me in a bind on the next fight if I only got to re-raise my Gilgamesh. I think if I want to tweak my team, I think the problem with my team is that Gilgamesh is just too fast, and he's running off in his own little world there, as you saw there. So we have two options here. One, I could just simply, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and attack the leader, and what I'm gonna do is essentially I'm gonna open up the leader, so that way give my guildies a chance to finish them off. I could have just easily killed off that last team for the 1 point game, but we're gonna go be a team player here. We're gonna be a team player. I'm gonna set up something here on the side, and there we go. All right, I got a lot of stuff going on here. So essentially what I'm doing here is just, whoa, did I just, I guess that's the beauty of how powerful my team can be, right? Because of the fact that I'm really good against dark teams. Oh no, here we go. Don't do an AoE. Though I think I'm out of AP here. A stop there would have been great. Looks like we're like meleeing each other now. Oh, I don't even get a heal up. I'm completely out of TP, man. Or no, I was completely out of TP and AP. Ah man, I could have actually killed that whole team. Yuna sometimes goes twice in a row. I never understand why. It seems like an actual bug. I don't know if that's a bug, Psychic, but welcome to the stream. I don't know if that's a bug, or is it just based off of speed, right? It's based on your agility. So I think overall that was a pretty good Guild Wars. That was actually pretty exciting. Okay, let's go ahead and do some arena, and let me see what's this week's. Raises magic attack. Raises magic attack, huh? That's interesting. I've been actually magic team hunting. So I should go after magic teams, right? Oh, look at this. This is Silma. She's that new unit, right? I still haven't finished mine. It is a red mage. It is not very well built, unfortunately, because it doesn't have any of their skills leveled up. But let's take a look at what they can do. We shouldn't really lose to this team. Let's take a look at what we can do and what Silma's capable of doing. If I do get sponsors, I would love to get sponsors from companies that you know, sells food and drinks. I know I'm a gaming channel, but I think it's time for me to start maybe creating my food channel. I think that would be a good idea. Must be the cast before her turn. Yeah, I think that's a possible too. But she literally killed one unit and went around it and then cast it again. So they couldn't kill my guy because I had courage. So you could tell that speed-wise, the comp that we're using just weren't able to keep up because she was too slow, right? She was too slow because her teammates were engaging in battle, and then she still weren't able to catch up in terms of speed to do the quick cast. So, all right. That was kind of uneventful, to be honest. Maybe we can find some other new units. It's kind of like all you see is the same units. All you see is literally the same units. Which kind of makes me sad. Oh, wait a second. We probably lose to this team. But let's see what rain looks like, because I think I'm supposed to be getting rain. G Fuel. G Fuel. Actually, that is. I would like to get energy. Yes, if I get sponsors, which won't happen because I'm like slowing down on content creation, right? If you don't get a certain number of subscribers, you can't get endorsements. But I would love to do like sports drinks or something. You know, not sports drinks, energy drinks. Kind of like that LeBron James sports drink commercial or energy drink commercial. When I'm playing Raid Shadow Legends, I don't need to fuel up. Fuel up with your most powerful fuel that you can buy as a human being. G Fuel. Stay fueled for gaming. Like, look at that right there. I could have just done a commercial. And I have to do it in a specific voice too, right? I think my teams are just a little bit more overpowered against some of these units. As you can see, I don't really climb arena as much anymore because I'm in like 10,000s. Mostly because I stopped caring about the bonus. I just kind of do it to do it. I think maybe I do need to chase that dream. Chase that dream about voice acting. If you guys have any suggestions in stream right now, let me know. Feel free to let me know any voices you would like me to do. Maybe we can attempt to do them. And it's not going to be cringe simply because, wait a second. All right, I'm going to attack that team, but I'm going to switch to anti-slash. Anti-slash there, and we're going to go with this. Because they are all melee slashing units. Monster drink. I'm sold. Gonna buy G Fuel now. Nice. Well, I'm glad I sold you, Septai. And play Raid. It's Friday night, and you're ready to play some Raid Shadow Legends. Before you do that, grab your fuel, G Fuel, and raid all night. G Fuel, energy for your mind. There you go. G Fuel and Raid Shadow Legends, you're welcome. I did some free ads for you right there. You know, the thing is, I was watching this guy, right? He's a Jewish streamer, YouTuber, and he started by doing Summoners Wars, and every time you watch his stuff, he kind of reveals a little bit about himself, like his past. And I think he's doing really well for himself, but he used to work on like Amazon packaging. He used to work at like all these random places getting like, you know, menial pay, right? I'm sure he's getting like 6 figures now because he has like 7 channels. He's running like 7 channels and he's pumping out videos like crazy. He obviously doesn't have a family, or else he probably wouldn't be able to do all this, but he's single, I think. And so he's able to allocate a lot of his time just, you know, building his finances, right? So he can probably retire at a decent age. And he's talking about how like nowadays the companies that are actually sponsoring YouTubers and streamers are setting up like these conditions in order for players to get paid. So for example, if a company was to approach a streamer, then the way it's set up is you have to meet certain criteria. For example, you have to get a certain number of players to log in, sign up, reach a certain number of level, get certain content finished, and then you can only get paid with your endorsements. I guess that's just a way of trying to pay people as least as possible. I always have a hard time fighting against Bow Girl here. She's very hard to beat because she's so fast. This one I don't like either because... Okay, here we go. So we got a physical attacker and 2 magic. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch back to my... Switch to this team. Let's see what happens here. So I guess that's just how some of the companies try to get away with their... without trying to think about paying people. Like, you know, you have to meet certain criteria, and if you don't, you won't get paid. Like, you will get paid, but you won't get paid until all those criteria are met. And I think the bigger companies, like whoever owns Raid Shadow Legends, they're doing less commercials because they're not paying people as much. Because the game has been out for a very long time. And it's obviously fairly popular, right? It's 2 years old, right? If I'm not mistaken. And people have been playing that game for a while, so they have a pretty good player base. Oh, that triggered. Well, she took a hit. She took a pretty strong hit there. It's just the AI of Yuna is really weird. Like, she's going... Why is Yuna going purely offensive right there? Like, she's not even thinking about healing Catan. Maybe because he's out of range. As you can see, this is pretty much not even thinking arena. It's just, I'm just picking teams that I think I can beat without even looking at their equipment. But if you want to be a really... Oh my god, that's embarrassing. If you want to be a really good... Sorry guys, I had to do a little spin. You like that move I just did? Woo. If you guys really enjoy the detail that you can put into arena, then I highly suggest looking at your opponent's gear and things like that. But I'm at the point where I don't overthink it anymore. Kind of just do it. Let me go ahead and charge. Sorry about that. That's always embarrassing. That's one of the problems when you're mirroring your iPhone, is that that's kind of embarrassing. Let's see if we can fight this guy because, ooh, that's, I don't want to fight against that because they have, here we go. Let's try something different. It seems like a lot of people are using Selma because they want to increase their bonus, right? She nuked last one for 10k, then moved and nuked Titus for 8k the next move when Titus moved but didn't take an action. Titus is now slow, but dang, that is fast. Raid spends most of their budget on advertising. I think they do. I think Raid Shadow Legends does do that a lot. Diminishing returns when you just pump early on for ads, brands established. Magic table, so you know it'd be like, let me be attacker now. You want something solid to go by and yes, not to pay more with it. Yeah, but you know, but the thing is though, it's kind of like if you're the content creator and you're signing up with a company and you agree to those terms, right? Then that's you. That's all you. There's no one else that's telling you you should or shouldn't be doing something. You know, they're adults, right? They're in it to make money. So of course they're gonna be naturally thinking if that's something that's what they want to do, then it's all good. I'm okay with that. Dang, Dwayne just smoked me, guys. See, with Dwayne, I think I need to reposition my team. I think that's my problem. Catan is way too fast. I think I should put Catan in the back. So I'm gonna move my guys around a little bit. I need to adjust here. But nevertheless, that's that. Vision cards, updates, nothing besides the fact that I did finish this near Automata because I did want to kind of go in on 2S or 2B, excuse me, 2B. But 2B is being worked on very tediously slow because of the fact that I didn't get a lot of the shards. So I will only be at job 21. So I will need to be at, so I will probably get to 115. Fortunately, it is what it is. I am thinking about doing rain though. I probably need to do a little research before I invest in rain, because you can see I have enough materials to finish him off with no issues at all. But is he truly worth, you know, raising up? Eunice came with minus. Ooh, that's a good idea. Actually, that's a good idea. Second, I should slow him down a bit. 2S 9B, right? Yeah, 2S. 2S. I think it's a good investment, but I just didn't have time. I think I was at the point where like I was dropping in terms of logging in, spending a lot of time on this game at that point, so I didn't get all the shards. So that's that. But you know, let's talk about Rain a little bit though. It's a bit unfortunate that I don't get to look at the abilities. You know, that's kind of stupid if you think about it. That's stupid because in order to look at it, either obviously I go on Google and figure out what it is, but what if you're the very first person that wants the EX Rain and you don't know what it is? Maybe the game itself should be telling me that somewhere. I don't know. I'm just too lazy to look that up, but that is a possibility. Depending on, I guess, on his skill, right? Because if he's gonna make him an attacker, I don't want to do that. I like tanks. I enjoy tanks. In the tower, Rain did a decent job on those guys that were all like ice. I think he did a pretty decent job. So both are really strong. Yeah, they're for free units. By the way, how you doing, Gil? Both units from the Nier collaboration are very, very good. So either one you build, you would have had no issues. I just kind of went a little overboard on that. To be fair though, I think they increased the rate, to be honest. I think they wanted players to get both so they can spend a lot of their resources building them. If I have K month and fire cards, yes. Yeah, that's true. That's the other thing. Actually, look. My fire team is so sad. It is like the saddest fire team probably in entire War of Visions community. I have no one built. I probably should have finished her because she's in the shop, right? And it's just too many resources to be concentrating on so many different units and things like that. None of these units are even remotely close to being finished. So my fire team is pretty sad. Let's see, raid I talked about last week. I ended up getting, I think, enough to get all the recipes for Brigandine. This week it's the tower, and then let's look at the mock shop in terms of my own Silma. I can get 80 of these right now. Let's go ahead and buy those. Where does that leave me with my Silma? And by the way, I haven't even looked at her. She is lightning unit, which you figure by looking at Silma, she's all decked out in red. She probably should have been a fire unit, right? She would have been kind of great. Pair her up with Adelar, because they would have been great together if they were both fire units. I am still 75 shards away. Wait a second. Why am I... Wait a second. How do I get the extra 75 shards? Do I have to buy them? Oh no, there's 100 here. Yeah, okay, never mind. Okay. So there's 100 there. There's another 100, 120. So it looks like that's gonna be enough to get her to over 100. So let's just go ahead and level her up to 85. We got plenty of these experiment cubes, which I never use. If you have the time to grind levels, you don't need to use cubes. This should bring me up to par, right? Yep, got the 100 shards. So I need to get the job. And today is lightning. Isn't today lightning, guys? Today is lightning, right? Max the event 2 for her shard before it's gone. You can also get everything free for Silva. Ishtola is crying. I know, right? I should probably just finish her off. Ishtola is so sad faced. I know, I've been ignoring her. Like, I actually used her and she didn't do anything because she has like no proficiency in weapons. She couldn't hit anyone in the towers at all. So in fact, I didn't even use any fire units. I think, what did I use? I think I used like, who did I use? I don't remember, but I didn't even pay attention to the elements because I just used my strongest units. Light and lightning. Wait a second. What am I missing here? Wait, what happened? Did I miss something? Didn't I get the shards, or am I supposed to go in there and... I'm very confused. You guys just witnessed me getting the 100 shards, right? Did this game just crash on my phone? I'll be super pissed if the games are crashing on phones now. Oh man, that is a Mind Sphere shard. Alright. My game just crashed. I don't understand this game. It like seems like they're asking me to quit this game. I think Square Enix is begging us to quit this game or something. How can this game be crashing on my phone now? I literally, this game has only crashed on my phone like 3 times since I started playing this game. I don't understand. They're making my life a lot harder than it needs to be, guys. Like, this is a game, and this is supposed to be my time of escape from real life. And they're making this a little bit too hard for me here sometimes. Okay, let's try this again. What is going on? I'm not exactly sure what is going on right now. What is it? Okay, what is going on, folks? I think the game just died. I could be wrong, but I think the server just crashed. I think the game is dead. I thought it was me, but it turns out it's not. Something happened. Something happened. Gil, I think I'm pulling for Final Fantasy VII. I haven't watched any of the other content creators stuff, but I think I might just get Cloud. Okay, so let's go ahead and check the quest. Everyone's saying check the quest. Oh, I have to do multi. So that's 40, 50. Guys, that's still not enough. Wait a second. I'm at 125. I'm at 120. I'm okay. I need 75, right? So this is 25. That's 50. Okay, so I need to do multi, in other words. All right, you guys want to do some multi then? Let's do some multi, huh? All right. I guess I got to do some multi. But just the thing is, this quest will come back later on. All right, folks, let's do some multiplayer. How many do we have to do? 5? Okay. I want to see if you guys are interested in farming a little bit here with me. If not, then I would just join some random groups. Well, the thing is, if the server would have crashed, I would have just streamed probably something else. Yeah, that was the last 75 shards. I had to go to missions. So here's what I'm thinking, right? Dark Helena, as you saw, Dwayne is super powerful. Helena and Dwayne is like the ultimate combo, I believe, on JP, where they're just tearing things up. If you own both, they're tearing things up. But I don't think I can afford them. It's just they're overpowered units, but at the same time, they're very expensive to build. Like the Final Fantasy VII, like here's the way I look at it, right? There's so many people who love Final Fantasy VII. And getting all the vision cards and all the units probably should be your goal. Especially if you're a spender. But if you're not a spender, you can only, realistically speaking, go after one or two of them. I think it's great that Tifa is free though, but it's kind of like if you're a Final Fantasy Tactics fan like me, I had to get them all. Except Alita. I didn't like Alita that much. So Kingmont, Helena, Dwayne are the monster trio in JP. Yeah, that sounds about right. Thunderloins. I love that name, by the way. That's a great name, Thunderloins. So let's talk about this then in perspective. I can't afford them because I'm not going to be spending a lot of money, if at all, from now on. I'm just kind of like, just kind of see how the game is, you know? Just kind of see how the game is progressing, because I think I've already dumped enough money in this game that I easily could have bought more Transformers. But for content creation wise, I felt like it was a good, it was worthy of spending that money, both for pleasure and progression in the game. But then I thought about more and more and more. It's like, I don't need to. There's no reason to. I have a hard time keeping up with the units that I have now. How can I keep building upon my roster if the game never really asked for it other than PvP? And you guys know I'm not a fan of PvP. Oh, Thunderloins, welcome to the guild, by the way. Is that's not Thunder? That cannot be your real name in the guild. I didn't see any Thunderloins, but I like your name in in YouTube. Welcome to the guild, by the way. I haven't been in Discord in a very long time. Mostly because I haven't really been at my computer a whole lot. Lately, I've been just playing on my phone, watching TV, hanging out with the fiance. Basically, we like hang out in the same room, so I'm playing on my phone. So I don't really sit on my computer a whole lot, so I haven't really been in Discord all that much. Plus, work has been very hectic. Like, there's been so many sick kids coming through. They're like literally calling me every night to work extra. But you know I can't do that because that's not physically possible to work every single night. So work's been busy, and I've been doing a little bit more social stuff as of late. So kind of like a lot of the content creation for this channel has been on hold for a little while. But I'm pretty sure once once Final Fantasy VII comes, you're gonna see a big boom. You're gonna see a humongous boom in terms of desire for content for this game. And I think that's what I'm waiting for, to wait for, you know, Final Fantasy VII and then post Final Fantasy VII. What's gonna happen for this game post Final Fantasy VII? Is it gonna maintain its success, or is it gonna be one of those roller coaster, wax and wane, bell curve kind of things on a graph? For those of you who are interested in those type of things, right? Because I think this game right now is fairly healthy. It's just the fact that I'm losing interest because the events are being very lackluster and giving us two major collaborations back to back. I thought that was a bad idea. I think that's what kind of burned me out a little bit. I felt a little burned out for sure. But I mean, I still enjoy the game immensely. It's just, it's harder for me to kind of get a full grasp on the game in terms of everything. And also, it just so happens that everything else is going on in my life at the same time, right? I'm, working on a lot of different things in my life right now, both like with work and then financial stuff and then social stuff. It's a fine balance. Life is a fine balance. But you got to get it done, right? You got to get it done. And many times over, there just isn't enough time in a day to be playing mobile games all the time. And that's unfortunate because I do enjoy gaming very much. And piggybacking on that concept, remember I talked about passion last week? I still want to do a video, but I couldn't bring myself to do it because I might get people getting irritated at that, me talking about it. Because I think people need to figure out if they do have passion for video games. Or is it just they enjoy video games? Two different concepts, by the way. It's not the same when you're telling people you have passion for video games. What you're essentially telling people is that you're willing to literally spend all day playing games, all day, every day. Could be even a job, right? And some people are treating YouTubing, streaming as a job. And if that's what they truly enjoy and they're willing to dedicate a lot of their time to, then that you can define that as passion because then you love it so much. But realizing I love streaming. I think it's very entertaining. It's very fun. You learn a lot about life. You learn a lot about whatever it is that you're streaming about from others. And there are a lot of good people out there. Good people that want to see you succeed both in whatever it is that you're streaming about in your own life. And then of course there are some clowns and some trolls that come through once in a while. And that's fine, right? Because that's life, right? But I find myself that I enjoy it immensely. But I don't feel like I can do this for the rest of my life. I can't do it. I can't stream full time. I just can't bring myself to do it. It's I think streaming is a little bit easier to do than making content on YouTube. Because I feel like once people build enough subscriber base, they just stream and then just kind of cut and paste their stream and put it on YouTube. They don't really make a whole lot of videos about, guides or reviews or things like that. They just kind of do things. And they're maintaining their momentum because of the fact that people just enjoy watching that specific streamer for whatever the reason they enjoy watching that streamer, right? But quite honestly, I don't believe War of the Visions is one of those games that's really good for streaming, right? It does have engagement. Like right now, I'm engaging myself with Septi, and I'm engaging myself with JP. So we're engaged. We're engaging with each other. We're playing. You guys are all watching the same screen. We're having a great time, by the way. It's just, I don't know if this is one of those games that is generally streamable type of thing, right? You got to find other games. But then again, like people watch all kinds of crazy games out there. I'm actually quite surprised that people literally will watch anything and everything. Well, Gil, I was actually thinking about that, man. Like, you just mentioned about doing Switch gaming for next month. I actually wanted to go buy. I want to actually go buy that the card in which I can actually stream me playing Switch. Like, the thing is, here's how I look at it, right? I think this is a good mentality. People are gonna play games regardless if they're streaming or not, right? Am I right? So imagine just me sitting here. You're kind of just playing my Switch, I'm playing my Switch right now, right? Now, let's say I'm playing Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I haven't opened my game. I still have a sealed copy. I'm like, I want to play that game so bad. But at the same time, I want to play it while I'm streaming. Because one, I can afford to fuck it up. Because someone will remind me that I fucked it up, right? Two, I get to have fun and like just chat with people and hang out. Like kind of like, dude, like, okay, social distancing. I can't even hang out with my buddies, right, without putting a mask on all the time. You know, it's like we're still at that stage. So you can't just go out and hang out all the time with your friends. And so it's kind of like streaming is like the next best thing in life to social interactions. So it's like, why not stream and then play with others? You know what I mean? Okay, that's cool. All right, JP, thank you, buddy. Let's move on to EX, Brutal. We're probably gonna need. I'm gonna switch to my healer here. Let's move to. I gotta get 5 of these bad boys. 3. Capture card. That's right. Yes. See, that's what I'm saying, Gil. There are so many good JRPGs for Nintendo Switch. I want to get them all. Like I honestly want to collect them all. Hey, Tassino, how you doing? Yes, that's what I'm saying. I really want to do that. I really want to like stream me just playing JRPGs, right? And the thing is, like when you're playing JRPGs on the Switch, there's no gotcha. There's nothing. You're just playing. You're like actually like you're watching. I'm actually gonna be engaged in like reading the story. And obviously it's gonna be a long stream, but maybe I'll do like hour and a half segments. And I think that's healthy. Just do an hour and a half segments. Like 2 hours, I think it's starting to get a little bit long. I think 3 is going to be enough, right? Do you guys think 3 is enough? Gotta catch them all. Pokemon isn't there a new Pokemon for Switch? I think it's called, what is it, Shield and Sword or something? That's one thing I can't do is Pokemon. I'm actually not very good at Pokemon either. I think it's because there are so many things to do. Let's try with 3. I guess JP is going to be our tank. Little Nightmares is fun too. Little Nightmares. I haven't heard about that one. Yeah, I really want to play. Oh my gosh, what is that game called? We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. The Nichi. It starts with a knee. It's like Pokemon, right? You got to get these dudes. You got to get these dudes, and they fight for you. Nikung something, like the White Witch. They did a remake, not a remake, but I guess it's just another version on the Switch. But I was told there's a lot of crashes, so that's not a reliable copy. But they have Final Fantasy 12 on Switch as well. I would have loved to have that as well. Play the hell out of that. I love Final Fantasy 12, man. Like that was like one of my favorite games because it reminded me of an MMO, and that was during the MMO craze, across the planet. And I actually enjoy the characters. And wasn't that in the same world as Ivalice, right? That was an Ivalice, so that was a great game. Ni no Kuni, that's right. Everything's. You can always rely on the stream to tell you, the chat to tell you the name. Ni no Kuni, yes. I love that game. That game looks so good. Ni no Kuni. It looks amazing to me. Like, it just looks very interesting. But like I said, I was reading the reviews because they finally had it on sale for like $20. And then the reviews is like, it crashes a lot. And I hate when I play RPGs that it crashes because I can't stand the load times on consoles. That's one of the reasons why I stopped playing console games. Is because of the load times and things like that. So if it crashes a lot, then I wasn't going to spend $20, no matter how cheap it would be. I don't know if I want to maybe just get a PlayStation 4 or 5 and then go back and, I don't know, maybe if it's downloadable or something. Wrath of the White Witch, exactly. Exactly. I love that game. Dragon Octopath Traveler, still by the way, hasn't seen it below $40 ever. It's always $50 to $60. I want to get a copy of for maybe $30. I'm okay with that. If it's brand new, I don't want to get old copies. I don't like buying old copies unless it's like from a flea market or something for like $5 or something. Dragon Quest, yes, of course. Dragon Quest, love, you know, Akira's artwork. One of my favorite of all time, of course. Look at that, we smoked it with 3 guys. That's how overpowered units are nowadays. Bravely Default, no, I have to be honest. I'm not a fan of Bravely Default's graphics. It just looks a little bit of chibi to me. It doesn't appeal to me. And the Grind Fest, I was told that it's super grindy. So I don't know if I will play Bravely Default 1 and 2, but I don't even think I own Bravely Default on my 3DS. They did? I thought that was still a thing though. The crash was still... If they had a patch to fix it, then I'm gonna go buy. I'm gonna buy for $20. I don't know how many hours you're supposed to put into that game. Let's say 70. You know, let's say I run 70 episodes on my channel. That's literally 70 days. That means in 2.5 months. That's like nothing. I've been playing this game for over a year. You know, at one point I was putting out like 3 videos for this game a day. So putting out 1.5 hour of playing just, you know, a beginning player of Ni no Kuni, I think it's you know, it's gonna be one of those let's play series. And I'm okay with, you know, not even having a lot of people watching it. It's just, I just enjoy playing a game. If people want to join me, that's one thing. You know what I mean? Like, just hang out, right? Because we're all gamers. We all love JRPGs. I think that's what ultimately gets us all together and create communities. Because you enjoy a specific product. And you enjoy each other's company. And I think that's what friendship is, right? You enjoy each other's company. Oh, is it on Steam? Actually that might be a good idea. Maybe I should just get Steam. We have a Steam account. Yes, I should look into that. I should just download it on Steam and then just play that then, yeah. Bloodstain, ROTN, Hades. And there was another game that I was looking forward to on Switch. Well, I guess it goes what I was saying. Breath of the Wild 2, I suppose that would be something worthy of playing, but I suck at Breath of the Wild, man. I suck at Breath of the Wild 1. Like, when I was doing those little dungeons, I kept looking them up on YouTube. I'm just not very good at games anymore, you know? Like, I'm good at certain things, but not all the time. I get destroyed. So it looks like we are going to be... Which one is this? Was that 2 or is that 3 times? That's 2 times. So we need to do it one more time. Yes, that would be kind of cool. Like if we can play Mario Kart together. I guess that would be kind of neat. Like when I stream, we can play Mario Kart. Cuphead is fun on Switch. What is Cuphead? I probably should look that up. Synergy, I like that name. The P is silent, right? It's like psychology. That's kind of neat. I like that a lot. Very creative. Kudos to you. I guess Super Smash Bros. People love that game too. I'm not good at those games either. I'll play me some Street Fighter against people though. Like I would like to get back into some Street Fighting. Tekken was my game back in the days. Oh my goodness, I can't tell you how much I used to play Tekken all the time. I used to play like Tekken at home. Then I would go to the arcades and test my skills out against others live. Obviously, that's what the arcade was all about. I miss arcade days. I think we talked about this with some of you folks last time. Was that I I thought about opening up a bar that was like a vintage arcade, but that's a bar and also serve food. Like that would be something that I would definitely open up as a business, because I always feel like there's enough people that have interest in arcade games, and of course drinking, and of course great food. It's kind of like you put all the stuff that I enjoy: food, video games, maybe not necessarily drinking, because I'm not really a huge fan of drinking, but I know a lot of people are a fan of drinking, food, and video games. That's like, it's hard to kind of go wrong with that. Actually, you know, during my retreat with my friends during that wedding, because basically we rented for those of you that weren't here last time, we rented a lake house, and we were doing a little bit of fishing, and we were just hanging out, you know, catching up on some good times, talking about life and things like that. And they were asking me, you know, like, once I become financially free and become, you know, good with my finances, where I can retire and everything, what is it that I like to do at that point? You know, what is it that I want to do with all my free time that I may have with retirement? And I think that's the other thing, right? People have different mentality of, well, retirement. Do I play Tekken 7? No, I don't play Tekken 7. I try, though. I did try. Ninja Turtles and Simpsons. You are absolutely correct, my friend. Ninja Turtles. I keep thinking about getting the 1-up Ninja Turtle arcade cabinet, because I want to get the original, right? Obviously, the original is going to be like maybe $3,000, something like that. But that thing is humongous. I think the 1-up 4-player Ninja Turtles is only like, I don't know, $300-400. So I think I wouldn't mind picking that up. That would be awesome. Simpsons, X-Men, all those are good games. But so let's backtrack a little bit on the story I'm trying to tell here. Is that, you know, my friends asked me, you know, what my passions were, and we're just getting on the word of passion. I guess that's why I keep thinking about it. And they're like, well, what would you do if you retire? And then we also talked about retirement. Some people's definition of retirement is mean they don't have to worry about working, right? But they still like to do other things. You know, maybe they do things to still make money, but not necessarily work for someone. Maybe other people's terms of retirement is they literally do nothing. They wake up anytime they want, they literally do nothing. You know, it's ultimately retirement just means you have perhaps financial freedom, or you have enough money to not think about working. To other people, it just means they're age 65 and they literally can't work anymore. The only way they can work is if they find some other sort of job that has nothing to do with what they went to school for or whatever, right? You know, it's kind of like you insert however you want to define your own retirement. But for me, the way I look at it is, I want to be able to not think about working and just have money in my bank or whatever it is that I can just do what it is that I want to do anytime, every day, any day. And they asked me, well, what would I be doing if I was truly retired? And I said, the one thing that I would love to do is open up a toy store, and where I will probably do like magic cards or card games, and that people can come in and just play card games. And then in the corner, I will have like a snack area where you can have like bubble tea, where people be buying bubble tea and just play games. You know, that's what I would like. I just hang out at the store. I don't have to be there every day. I just need to, it's just something I own and something I can do when I'm bored. You know, like if I want to look to play some card games with random people, I have my own establishment to do that. And that's what I want to do. And maybe sell toys at the same time, like sell toys, collectible cards, and like a bubble tea / snack shop kind of thing. That's what I would like to open up. And I actually thought about opening one of those up in my neighborhood here, because where I live is like a new neighborhood. So it's like, there's like a high school literally right there. And there's like a division of a college right there. And they're building so much stuff in my neighborhood. They're literally trying to make this into like a small city of sorts. And so it was a good opportunity to perhaps get into it. But of course, I'm not financially stable enough to do this. So for me, it is something that's been on my mind. That I've been thinking about doing. That if I do end up retiring anytime soon, it would be something that crossed my mind. I think that's a great idea, by the way. And of course, the bar/video game arcade place will also be a great idea. That would also be a fun thing to do. Because even if you think about it, even if you don't succeed, right? You know that it's just a side project. It's not like something you're worried about in terms of earnings, right? You're doing it because you truly enjoy it. I think that's what you can actually bring the word passion for. Because if you love something, it's not a job, right? People always say that. If you love something, it's not a job. And I'm just trying to think to combine everything I enjoy doing into one cohesive building kind of thing. And by the way, tonight's stream, we're going to cut a little short. We're going to do about an hour and a half, and I think we're going to cut it short because I still have a lot of prep work to do because I'm food prepping now. Like, I'm doing a lot of food prep. I have to work tomorrow. I have to work the day after. And there's also some activities that I need to take care of on Tuesday. And then my fiance is having some sort of party thing with her friends because one of her best friends or whatever is getting married soon. So I guess they're doing a little bachelorette party or something. So a lot of stuff is going on. Why not all the above? Bar on one side for parents, comics and cards on the others for the kids. That's actually not a bad idea. Maybe like a 2-story building, if you think about it, right? Like the kids get to play upstairs, but they have to be, in order to get into the bar, obviously there will be someone there to check their IDs and things like that. Because we obviously do not want the children in the arcade when there's alcohol, right? But then again, I guess that's okay too. Like, you can have teenagers get like burgers and fries and play video games, or get pizza and play video games like it used to be. Pizza parlors was like one of the most popular things for me growing up as a kid. Eating pizza, and so your joystick's all greasy and stuff, but then you just clean it, right? You use some spray and clean it every night. But yeah, that would be so fun, like just to have those type of establishment that you can call that something you own, that is designed so people can go in and use the nostalgia factor and all that good stuff. That's what I'm hoping for one day. One day I would like to hopefully see that come to fruition. Dude, why is Firemon so tanky? King Mon is like really tanky. Is it me, or is he like actually quite tanky? Like, I thought he's not really a tank, because if I would have known that he was actually like a tanky unit, I would have probably got him. I like Firemon. He's pretty badass, right? He is pretty badass. It's unfortunate I didn't get him for free. I was hoping to get him for free from all those free summons they were giving out. I didn't get him. I mean, he's pretty tanky. He's pretty beefy. I should probably look at his stats. Let's keep us hydrated. I'm gonna get some water that I already have set up here. All right, I got my jug. And I dropped something. And like I said, I ate that Laksa tonight. That was very, very salty. So I gotta, for the next few hours, I have to stay up tonight. I gotta do some more cooking. I got something cooking on the stove right now that I'm cooking for tomorrow. I made some curry tonight as well. Nino Cooney, yes, Gabriel. You're absolutely correct, Nino Cooney. And I'm gonna make. We also bought some like crispy duck from the Asian markets. It's so good when you put the duck skin side down and you pan fry it for a few minutes until that skin gets really, really crispy. Oh man, it's so good. And I'm gonna make some. I think I'm gonna make some. I think I'm gonna make some pork loin roast. Try to eat a little bit cleaner too, right? Right now I'm just eating a lot of lean meats, a lot of vegetables, really. So it's multiple players. He has defense, then area unit resist options, and the specific damage. Yeah, he is pretty juicy. I think Monta is pretty juicy. I think that's why he's so good. He's very tanky. He's very specific in terms of targeting enemy units that he wants to target. Yeah, it's gonna be expensive to get Queen Helena. You're right, second. Eating a lot of salty food is no good. Like the food would have been great. Like the Laksa would have been great. The only problem is I kind of went overboard on drinking the broth, which is where all the salt is. So what is that? 47? I need 48 because I still have to get the +3 book. And it's kind of weird. I'm getting this item even though I don't actually own the new unit, the Scholar unit. My kit lost interest, so it didn't get past halfway point. Haven't experienced crash yet. Really? Okay, maybe I should just get the downloaded version for $20. Like, I'm pretty sure you can get it for $20 nowadays. Or I can just get it on Steam. A second said it to get it on Steam. That's a great game, Ni no Kuni. It looks so good. I guess like kids will have more interest in it because of the fact that it's kind of like Pokemon, right? It's kind of like cutesy. When I saw the combat, I just really enjoy the combat system. I think maybe I'll do a little bit more coverage on the game. See, the thing is, I wonder if I'm too far behind in terms of the curve. Because I haven't been making content in a while. I wonder if people lost their interest, but I guess we'll find out. Like, maybe when Helena comes out, I'll probably do some videos to talk about her. I think I wouldn't mind because after all, she is thick thighs, right? She is thick thighs. She's very, very good though. Like, I'm very tempted. I'm seriously tempted. But the problem is, out of the trio, I'm missing Kingmont and I am missing Dwayne. So in order for me to actually be best utilizing that unit, I mean, she's probably just solid on her own, but I think she's a PvP unit though, right? Yeah, Psychic, yeah, no problem. We're cutting off pretty shortly here too anyways. Thank you for helping me out, by the way. See, the problem I'm having is I need to make sure that if it's a PvP unit, I don't think about it. Because if it's a PvE unit, I need to think about it more because I don't get engaged with PvP as much. She is the best thighs. Thank you, Gil. Thanks for stopping by and giving me the suggestions. And good luck to you. Have fun. Yes, I will take your advice and just make content when I feel like it. Because I feel like I was pressured inwards, right? Like I was pressuring myself to create content. And I think that's why I really still am a huge fan of Cabbage, because he just does stuff because he does stuff. He doesn't give two shits about, you know, making people happy. He just does things to do things. And I think that's the philosophy I should have had from the get-go. Probably should have been the way to go. But it's never too late, right? It's never too late. I really thought about streaming Summoner's Wars on Wednesday. I thought about streaming that. But like I said, with so much demand of what's going on in my life right now, it was really hard to sit down for just even an hour to do things. But Cabbage is the GOAT for War of Divisions. I agree. He's very entertaining in his own right. Right? He's not like outspoken or like outrageous. You know, he's kind of like the epiphany of someone who's both intellectual and you could say nerdy, whatever, right? Because nerd, when I look at it, it's a positive term for me. It's a positive term. It just means you like things that is not considered mainstream by people, right? That's essentially what a nerd boils down to. But clearly, he's an educated intellectual, right? He's very articulate. He has a very high vocabulary. Like every time I watch his stuff, I feel like I need to increase my own vocabulary words. You know, when I talk about things, either on my stream or in my videos. But one thing I learned is public speaking for me, I actually enjoy it. It's just, I don't think my vocabulary is as powerful as some other folks out there. But it's kind of weird. Like I listen to like a satellite radio, right? I'm a huge NBA fan. And these two guys, every day they come on, I think it's like 1 p.m. to like 3 p.m. And for some reason, they keep saying, like, dude, these guys are like professional radio hosts. And literally every other word is Like, you would figure that they have some kind of training to get rid of that. Like, I started off when I make my videos, I do a lot of ums and uhs. But now when I talk, I do no uhs and no ums. Almost like, say, 99% of the time, I do no uhs and no ums. And I just realized how obnoxious that could be, like subconsciously perhaps, how obnoxious it is for a professional to dub themselves as professionals to use ums and ums all the time. It's so annoying. I don't understand it. I should just make Boku Bucks in Japan. Yeah, I wish. Super hard game, Cuphead. Very cool design. I should check that out. A few people talk about Cupheads. Yeah, he does. Yeah, Cabbage just kind of like make random comments, like, you know, when he's doing things. Or he would start talking about like dating women and what kind of women he likes, big thighs or long legs or wherever it is that he enjoys. I don't understand, like, I can't understand like how a professional sportscaster is doing ums every 15 words or less. So the NBA game last night was very interesting. The fans started spitting on the NBA players. Like, you know, I don't understand that. I don't get it. I know it's a tick. I get it. It's a tick, right? I understand that. But I had that. Like, here's the thing. I did that for a long time. Because that's a natural thing for people to do, right? People just do ums or uhs because it's like they're actually pausing. The brain is pausing for a millisecond to collect their thought again, to continue their conversation. They're gathering, you know, more vocab or whatever it is that they're doing. It's a flow. But I'm learning more and more that I fixed it. I make sure I fixed it. And it's easy to do ums and uhs when you're doing a live because of the nervous tick. But when you're doing a video for, like, say, guide purposes or educational purposes, that's where the editing comes in to edit all that stuff out. That's why I think people don't really understand how long it can actually take to make a YouTube video. You may actually have to edit, it's 5-minute video and it take you upwards to like 3 hours to do it, because you may have to reshoot the same sentence over and over and over until you get a very cohesive and flowing presentation. But when it's live, it is that much harder to talk or speak without using nervous tics. But you can train. I feel like you can train. I think you can break the habit if you do enough training, right? Enough talking. And that's why, oh, by the way, speaking of board games, I just wish you can play board games with each other without, actually, I guess you could play board games with each other, right? I don't know, it'd be pretty hard. I'm a huge fan of board games, by the way. I'm not a collector per se, but we were playing this game called Harubi. I don't know if you guys heard of it. Harubi? It's like a Japanese card game. I think it literally translates into fireworks. I think second, or anyone else in chat who speaks any Japanese probably can correct me. I think Harubi is fireworks. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you heard of it, but if you haven't, it is a card game you play cooperatively, co-op, and you would do cards that only your teammates can see. So you're holding cards, but it's facing them, right? You can see their cards, you can't see your own cards. And the goal is to essentially play solitaire by laying down suits of specific numbers in sequence. And once you get those done, you win the game. And then you calculate the number of points that you won. You can actually lose an entire suit if somehow you run out of cards to finish the sequential order, right? And it's a great, simple game. I mean, it's so simple. It's like conceptual-wise, it's very, very simple. But the beautiful thing about this game is you really get to know each other. You really get to know each other's strategy. You really get to know each other, how the way people think. You get to learn how people react to others and how well people work with others. It's like a great team building exercise, if you ask me. It's a great game, by the way. It's cheap too. It's like less than $10 on Amazon. So we started playing this game, and we're learning the habits of each other over time, of course. And my friend, who I've not known for a long time, his habit is he will ask you questions, because the design is you're supposed to ask each other questions or give each other hints. So you, holding your cards not facing you, you're supposed to figure out what card is what and what suit they are, right? So that way you can kind of figure out how to lay down your cards properly. So a lot of strategy involved, a lot of communications involved. And my friend will ask me the same question round after round. He'll be like, do you know what your cards are? I'm like, well, for the 18th time you have asked me, I know this card is this, I know this card is this, I know this card is this. And then doesn't even matter if I knew my own cards. His move would have no relevance to my cards. But yet he will keep asking me that, right? It's just funny that he keeps doing it. And of course, all the other players are learning the way he's playing, so we have to sort of adapt to how he plays. It's just a great game, man. Like, if you have good friends, you know each other, it's just a great game. But it kind of like the dynamic of the game changes drastically as you're playing with people you don't know each time you're playing the game. And I think that's what's ultimately great about the game. Yes. See, the thing in my neighborhood is there's a middle school, there's a high school, and there's an elementary school. They're all within a mile of each other. And I think this is why where I live is slowly becoming like it's like its own city. They're trying to make it like its own city or whatever. So if I did open up a collectible store, it will work because there's going to be potential young children that will just enjoy games, right? And then of course we talked about Settlers Catan. That's definitely one of the board games of all time. I think that was voted as the best board game of all time. I got my parents loving that game. I got my brother and my sister-in-law loving that game. And my friends started loving that game. We used to like play Settlers together all the time. And it's very cutthroaty though. Like, people love that game. I guess people enjoy the trading aspect. And people enjoy the strategy aspect. Even though in my opinion, there isn't a whole lot of strategy to Settlers. It's either you gamble your chances of winning away to make sure someone doesn't win, and you're trying to be conniving, or you're trying to be convincing the other people to collaboratively make sure that one person that's about to win doesn't win, right? That's pretty much, you go from there, or you're just trying to sneak into the front by winning in a very surprising manner. Like, by far the most powerful card in Settlers Catan, for those of you that know, will be the Monopoly card. Like that, if you play that card at the right time, it really changes the game. I mean, that's why people love that game. I think it's definitely one of the best selling games of all time in terms of board games. So for me, yeah, definitely enjoy board games. But the pandemic kind of put a little damper on that too, because we wanted to do board night game, like, board game night. Just have some wine, delicious meal, and then maybe have some board game time with your friends. It's unfortunate, man. This pandemic definitely screwed over a lot of different aspects of life. I mean, that's for sure. I honestly, working in the medical field myself, I never thought for 1 minute that I will be living in an era where I get to experience a pandemic. But I guess you could put that on a bucket list, even though I'm sure no one wants to have that on their bucket list. But inadvertently, every human being essentially checked that off on their list, right? So anyways, all right, so we'll do this one more time and then we're gonna call it a night tonight. Like I said, I got a lot of stuff to do this week. I just want to make sure I keep up though by streaming and hanging out with you guys. And like I said, I always learn something every time I stream, and it's just a great way to stay connected with the community. And if you guys have any recommendations about anything, anything or divisions related, feel free to email me, or feel free to just post a comment on any of the videos. I do check my stuff. I check my stuff every single day. It's just I don't stay glued to my computer as much as I used to anymore. So it is what it is, right? Sometimes your life shifts, and sometimes that consistency is hard to do. And I think that's why it's kudos to those people like Diggs and Cabbage and anyone else who does content for War of Divisions are able to do this a long time, and of course we're in a very consistent manner. I think the thing is really is like, you have to choose and decide if you're doing this for fun, casually, or you're doing this as a job, right? Because that's important. Diggs is doing this for a job. Cabbage is doing this for fun. And there's everyone else in between, right? And so you guys as viewers, you guys as gamers, obviously have your favors and things like that. People you go to for information, people you go to for entertainment, and of course, people you go to because, you connect with them, on other things. You can talk to them about other things. And I realize I am not going to be the entertaining part for the most part, although I can be, and I'm definitely not the informative one. So I'm somewhere along the middle. And for me to do this from a casual perspective and a hobby perspective, it makes more sense for me. And hopefully it makes sense for you guys. So treat it as that, right? If you guys feel like you need to unsubscribe, I'm okay with it. But if you guys want to keep supporting the channel, because realistically speaking, if you keep subscribing to a channel, it doesn't hurt you in any way, right? Because if you're not like hitting the bell, it doesn't like do anything. But I hope to put out more content in the future. It's just I'm really taking a mini hiatus from the game, simply because one, there's very lacking of content right now, and two, there just isn't a whole lot for me to do. I have done all the events and I can easily accomplish anything they put out in front of me. It's just a matter of whether or not I want to spend more money to buy more units, which I feel like is not necessary for me at this time. Maybe I'll get full blown into this game when Final Fantasy VII collaboration comes around. I guess time will tell. But in the meantime, I'm sure there's going to be other games that may come through that I may draw my interest, in which maybe I'll put out more content. I gave Final Fantasy XIV a try. I try all these other games I played, and they just don't hold my interest that long. I think the next big game is going to be Diablo 2 and maybe Switch. Those are my options right now. So, and it looks like we have a helicopter flying over my house. So that is it for me. I want to thank y'all for coming. I want to thank you for spending some time with me this week. And I appreciate all the support, by the way. You guys have always been wonderful every single week, week in, week out. Like I said, make no promises, but I hope to make more content, not only for War of Divisions, but for whatever is coming forth in my life. And hopefully we will all intertwine in that life. Until next time, take care of yourself, all your loved ones. Have a great weekend. Nashtaters out here. Bye-bye.